How's it going, everyone? Blueknight here, and welcome back to the channel with another Sonic the Hedgehog video. This time, I'm going to be discussing one of my top 5 favorite Sonic characters, Blaze the Cat. Blaze the Cat made her grand debut in the 2005 Nintendo DS game, Sonic Rush, which just so happened to release on the same day as the meme-filled Shadow the Hedgehog. I'll talk about that in a different video. When Sonic Team designed Blaze, they went through many different designs before arriving at her current design that we see today. They wanted her to be equivalent, yet an alternate version, to Sonic's overall character. And since Blaze is from an alternate dimension than Sonic's, this works rather well. As seen in Sonic Rush, she is capable of running and boosting at high speeds, just like Sonic. So, would it be safe to assume that the cat species from both dimensions are vastly different? After Blaze's initial debut, she went on to become a fan favorite character, while also appearing in tons more games, most of which she's playable, but only a handful where she's actually involved in the game's stories. And of course, the comics. Most recently, the IDW Sonic Comics series as of issue 4, which takes place after the events of Sonic Forces. Strangely enough, and despite her popularity in the series, she's never appeared in any Sonic TV show or animation whatsoever. I mean, if most of the other characters have, oh wait, Silver hasn't either. So why not Blaze? I can understand why she didn't appear in Sonic X as the show ended a year after she was introduced. And then there was Sonic Boom, which could have altered too much of her character, just like what happened with Shadow.
Now you're catching on. So long, fools. Forever.
But given her backstory, complex personality, and excellent character development, more on that in just a bit. For these reasons, there's no doubt that Blaze would be the perfect addition to a new Sonic TV show. Now, I wouldn't expect a full retelling of Rush or Rush Adventures events, which actually wouldn't be a bad idea for a multi-part story arc, as it would introduce new fans to the character who likely have not played the Rush series, and also fully envision her backstory and character development. Of course, this is just my idea. Whether or not Sega decides to make a Sonic TV show with this idea is completely up to them. Okay, let's move on to her backstory. Well, since 2006 was thrown into the timeline just to ultimately be erased from series canon, because of this fact we could just ignore this and move on, right? Wrong. You see, Sonic 2006, which became infamously known as the worst Sonic game in the franchise's history, well, that wasn't until Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric released 8 years later. Since Sonic 2006 released a year after Rush and a year before Rush Adventure, as you can imagine, the game messed up Blaze's story to some extent. Her gameplay was pretty good in 2006, I will give the game that. Still, this definitely, most certainly, confused a lot of fans. Was she from the future? Was she from another dimension? Did the game take place before or after Rush? Why didn't Sonic and Blaze even recognize each other in 2006? Well, apparently, the team had the most brilliant answer you could possibly think of. You ready for this? Ready? They had amnesia. That's it. That's gotta literally be the first thing that they came up with when asked that question. I mean, it's almost like, hey, we just got asked this question about Sonic and Blaze not recognizing each other in 2006. What are we supposed to tell them? Well, simple, just say the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay, they had amnesia. Yep, that's basically what happened. I mean, a much better idea would be that 2006 happened before Rush, and Blaze went to another dimension at the end. Then the amnesia thing would make perfect sense because of the timeline reset, with Solaris erased from the timeline. Neither of them would even remember what happened with Rush technically and canonically speaking being their first meeting. And as for Blaze even remembering Crisis City in Sonic Generations, well, I've actually got a theory about this, and thankfully it's not complicated. Seeing as white space is where erased time goes, it's highly possible that erased memories can go there as well. When the Sonics restore time and space, memories are likely to be restored as well, therefore allowing Blaze to remember these events from 2006. As for Sonic and Silver, remembering anything from 2006's events, or even Crisis City for that matter, is completely unknown. And fun fact, in addition to the Blaze rescued cutscene, there was supposed to be another cutscene that played after restoring Crisis City, but that was ultimately cut for unknown reasons. Anyways, with 2006 out of the way, let's move on to her backstory established in the Rush series. Blaze was born into a royal family in her dimension, but also possessed the ability to control fire, hence her name. However, she was unable to properly control this power, which led others to tease her about it while younger. Due to this, she considered her powers a curse, which led her to wear a cape to hide her flames. Now, there is actually concept art of this in the 3DS version of Sonic Generations. As she got older, reaching princesshood, she became the guardian of the Soul Emeralds, her dimension's version of the Chaos Emeralds from Sonic's dimension. This is one similarity that Blaze does share with Knuckles, as he's the guardian of the Master Emerald. Unfortunately, their first meeting didn't exactly go very well. Because of her past and taking her job as the Soul Emerald's guardian very seriously, led her to live in isolation away from others, making her shy, withdrawn, and self-reliant. As a result of this, she never made any friends. Now I'm going to stop right there for a moment, as this could be seen as sort of a relatable aspect of Blaze for some people. You see, she was teased because of her flames, which made her different. Now, was she being made fun of because she was different, other than being royal, or simply just being picked on? Well, we don't actually know those exact details, but I'm sure some of you can imagine how stuff like this can linger for a very long time and affect the mind, leading to not wanting to be around others. Basically, isolation, becoming shy, and withdrawn. Sometimes in fear that the same thing would happen again, making it very difficult to readjust back into society. In Blaze's case, it was partially because of her powers and how serious she took her job. Anyways, Blaze had no real friends because of this, therefore, she never learned how to use the Soul Emeralds. Of course, all that changed throughout the course of Sonic Rush's story, after both Sonic's and Blaze's worlds become connected through a tear in the space-time continuum. This is how Blaze was sent into Sonic's world after Dr. Eggman stole the Soul Emeralds. In order to reclaim them, she had to put away her isolation. Along the way, she met Sonic and his friends, which in turn helped her to use the Soul Emeralds. Unfortunately, in Sonic's case, the two got into a fight because Blaze wanted to do this task herself and refused Sonic's help. She regretted this afterward and realized her mistakes, leading the two to become close friends, defeat both Dr. Eggmans, and restore their worlds to how they were before parting ways. During all this, she came to accept her flames not as a curse, but as a gift. The two then met again in Sonic Rush Adventure, only this time, Sonic and Tails were sent to Blaze's world. While there, they helped Blaze gather the Soul Emeralds and reclaim the Jeweled Scepter, something that her family has guarded for generations. And you pretty much guessed it, both Eggmans come along and stole it, who are ultimately defeated by Super Sonic and Burning Blaze yet again. These guys just don't learn now, do they? Blaze displays a fear of heights in this game, known as acrophobia, which would carry over into future games like Team Sonic Racing. Although she did go through a good bit of character development in the first rush, she still had a good bit to go, as she did show dislike towards Maureen the Raccoon, going so far as to honestly, although bluntly, call her a nuisance. But her outlook on Maureen changed later on in the game when she helped reclaim the Jeweled Scepter. Now, in Generations, we see that she's a lot more sociable compared to how she was at the start of Sonic Rush. though she still dislikes relying on others and prefers doing things herself, but she'll gladly accept any help that's given. Despite all this, she still has a fiery temper, especially when it involves anyone tampering with the Soul Emeralds, or looking at them the wrong way, and or threatening her kingdom and friends, becoming extra aggressive, harsh, frightening, and making bad decisions. Overall, this is why Blaze remains one of my top 5 favorite Sonic characters, because of her backstory, personal struggles, personality, character development, abilities, gameplay, and so much more. All make Blaze a fantastic addition to the Sonic franchise, and I'm very excited to see what Sega does with her in the future, whether that'll be her first TV show appearance or story involvement in the 30th anniversary game. Either way, I'm definitely looking forward to it. However, I do feel that Blaze has been such an underused character when it comes to the game's stories after Sonic Rush Adventure. Since then, she's mostly had non-story related appearances as a mere unlockable in games like Dash, Runners, and Force's Speed Battle, and nothing more. I mean, I'm glad that Blaze appeared in as many games as she did, no question about it. But what's sad is the number of games where she's appeared in the actual story since Rush Adventure. Those games being Blueknight, Colors DS, Generations, and Team Sonic Racing. That's it. Now I can understand why, seeing as 2006 really affected how often other characters in Sonic stories tend to be, playable or not, but as of Sonic Forces Episode Shadow DLC and Team Sonic Racing, they're bringing these characters back into Sonic game stories while making them playable again, with some of them not even getting this kind of treatment in a very long time. Yes, even Sonic Mania did this with Mighty and Ray. Definitely a great thing to see, and I do hope to see this continue in the future. So with that, guys, is the end of today's video, which actually turned out to be much longer than I originally planned on it being, and if you stayed through the whole thing, I do really appreciate it. It's also very possible that there's details and things that I forgot to mention. If I did, then be sure to let me know in the comments section below, along with what you guys think about Blaze the Cat. And don't worry, there will be more discussions like this coming soon. It just takes time to do the research and the editing on these, so be sure to stay tuned for more Sonic the Hedgehog content, discussions, news, rumors, anything coming to you at the speed of sound. Thank you all so much for watching and supporting the channel. I've been Blueknight, and I'll see you guys back here next time. Goodbye.